Respond fast. Venue or festival?
Festival.
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 Let's go back to the beginning. What pushed you like to form Warsenal, and what gaps or need were you trying to fill in the Montreal scene?
Honestly, we started back in 2012, 11, something like that. So at that time, there wasn't much going on in thrash. There were bands like, Violator, Municipal Waste, and everybody seemed to be doing that kind of crossover-ish thrash. And we wanted to bring, I don't know, like those crazy riffs. I remember just hearing like Rattlehead by Megadeth, and I was like, why aren't there more songs like that? What if we took, all those crazy songs that artists have, but we do it like our trademark of it, just crazy notes just flying everywhere, going all around. So that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to be like different from the majority of bands that were happening at that time. So yeah, that was the spirit, just being crazier than anybody else.
So if we're gonna focus more about the sound,
Yeah.
like Warsenal's sound blends like the raw fear of the 80s metal, thrash metal, with a little bit of more modern edge twist. So how did you find that balance?
I guess would be doing like some kind of speed metal. I don't know. When Zach came in the band, he said something like, when I heard you guys, it sounded like Voivod and Corner, but on crack. So that might be the definition of it. I don't know when I had something. You saw it because he came a little bit later, so he heard it from from the crowd. So maybe he has a better idea.
Well, listen, like when the first time I saw Warsenal, I was like, oh my god, like this is original, but it reminds me of all these bands that I grew up listening to, So I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna like just follow those guys and see what they're gonna come with after. And then like listening to their music more, and like especially we became more friends because my old bands, we used to do shows together. So I just find out that they are like Voivod, Rush, Megadeth blended together, and that's what it gave. And hail to that, it's so good.
If we circle back a little bit on the lyrics. So the lyrics radiate a little bit of anger and defiance. And beneath all of that intensity, what are the real messages that matter the most to you that you want to throw into the...
That's a good question. At first, I feel like the first album I've composed lyrics, I was, I don't know, like 14, 15. So there wasn't that kind of message. I mean, I tried doing some anti-war kind of lyrics or kind of political lyrics. Looking back, I don't know, it feels kind of bland, I guess. But right now, since the last album and the upcoming album, I don't know, it's more like social criticism, but veiled. It's not like in your face. Like usually thrash, they just throw it all in your face, kind of in a punkish kind of way. But I'd rather go. I'm a big The Doors fan, a big Jim Morrison fan, so I like to veil the message in a bit of poetry, let people get the message themselves. Just make things more interesting. I know in metal there's not a lot of people reading the lyrics, but if someone takes the time to read it, I want it to be meaningful, and I want them to make them think. It goes further than the music.
What do you think is the essential difference between experiencing Warsenal's show live, or listening to it in a studio or on AirPods?
I feel like that live, there's a lot more of energy. When we play live, we try to make when you go see a show, you want to see a show. So it's not just about music, it's about the whole experience of people on stage having fun with the people in the crowd having fun. So I think that's not something you have when you're just listening to the city, you know, because the city is not moving in your whatever in your car, but hopefully, but but yeah, I think that the main difference would be like we try to bring energy when we're playing live and just add on top of the experience of the music we're trying to compose and present to the people.
Yeah, and it's about the whole experience. Like we'll jump around, we'll move everywhere. There's gonna be mistakes for sure. Like I mean, we go crazy. But if you want to listen to perfectly recorded, no mistakes, I mean, listen to the album. If you want to live the experience, we interact with the crowd. That's what we bring, and we usually told by people that we're more of a live band. Like there's energy on the albums, but it feels like live. It's even there's something more. That's what people say. That's not what I mean. So yeah, and for you?
Well, for me personally, I think Warsenal is a live band. Why? Because, like people listen to our music probably in the CDs and stuff. They like it, they appreciate it. But I think the most beautiful experience about Warsenal is to come see us live, because live we are more, like we just like transmit all our ideas and our energy towards the crowd, and when the crowd give it back to us, we want to give more, so that's what we do.
Yeah, and a lot of people also told me like, I'm curious to see how you play those riffs and sing at the same time. So come live and see for yourself.
So up to my knowledge, Warsenal is still an independent band, so no label. And we know that path is not easy at all.
No, that's not true.
All right, so what are the major obstacles that you faced, and how did you turn those obstacles into strength?
Surprise, surprise, we have a label now. So
Well, we had a label.
we had a label, yeah. We were signed with for the 3 albums. We had a label, independent though. First one was Punishment 18, more of a small label, more CD oriented. Then we went on with Svart Records in Finland, great label, but we didn't really fit. It's more experimental kind of label. There's more doom stuff, more I don't know, prog-ish kind of stuff. So we didn't fit really well. Now we're signed with Massacre Records. I think we're more into our niche. But it's gonna be announced at some point. There was some. The album's been ready and the contract's been signed for a while, like at least a year or 2. But some, bureaucratic stuff. So, but it's coming. It's coming.
You just toured Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just came back from Europe, and you've been touring excessively since, I guess, a long time ago now. I just if you had to pick one defining moment in your touring life, like a show or even an encounter or whatever, that captures the spirit of Warsenal, what would it be?
I mean, when you're on the road, there's always like crazy stuff happening. So I think it's not like one major thing. It's always the small thing that's happening and just the life on the road that sometimes is like weird. But if I'd say like one defining moment, I think would be the last tour we did in Europe. We played 2 festivals. We played at the Heavy Haggers and we played at the Moscow Rock. And both festivals were just crazy to play at. Lots of people, the energy there. Everyone was nice. Just the whole experience, energy that was going around was just crazy to me. Just to have the privilege to be like on stage for those people and just participate in the festival and be around this kind of community. So yeah.
I might have something. The first gig we did in Mexico, I remember there was like a rail in front of the stage and somebody knocked his face on it and there was blood like all over the stage. And I was like, shit, we're Exodus now. There's actually blood on the stage. So that was, for me, a cool moment, being like, yo, it's a bit like, what all the bands I've been listening to. It's a bit like that. So this could be an example of it. But yeah, like Francis said, there's so many things happening. So it's more of a whole experience than just pinpointing one moment. Would you have something?
Well, I remember one thing, like it was so funny and at the same time it was great. We were in Czech Republic and we went to this venue and we just walked in and we were like, oh, it looks like, it reminds us like of the bars here, And what I just found like very special about that place, it's like the food was great on the backstage. The crowd were into our music like they were fans since forever, you know. Like, and it was the first time that we ever played Czech Republic, and it was insane. Second one probably it will be Heavy Ager. It was an amazing experience in Denmark. We played this festival. They treat us like great. The crowd was insane, you know. Yeah, this is what I remember mostly from Europe. Yeah, the road, of course, like the beautiful views and different culture, sleeping in a country, waking up in another. So, yeah, amazing.
And I'll just finish by tying up into previous questions. The whole thing about Warsenal being a live band, I think in Denmark was a great example. It was a festival. We were playing second that day, but people came to see, like people were curious. And we blew them away because after the show, people came to see us. And the next day, there was a lot of Warsenal shirt, like going around all over the festival, and people still remembered us the next day. And we were like playing second band on the first day. So that's what we're like. We're converting people. We're one show at a time, just trying to, you know, get more people. And at some point, you know, things will just pick up. And well, things are picking up, but yeah, we're just hoping it will explode at some point.
If we can talk a little bit about the creative process. So how does a song comes to life? What comes with what, like who does what? And from like, if you can talk a little bit from the first like idea all the way to the finished song or product.
I usually come up with most of the riffs. Francis as well, he sends me a riff. I usually arrange the songs myself. When we go in the rehearsal room, like the songs are ready, and then we show them to Zach, we work on it, and then we modify stuff. Sometimes, you know, in my head it sounded that way, and like, oh, okay, you played drum this way, we'll just... But, I mean, like 90% of the song, when we get into the jam room, it's already done. It's, you know, we know where we're going. But, you know, along the way, we're like, oh, okay, this doesn't work, or this or that. But, yeah, most of it, Francis and I, we just share riffs and put it all together. And we make magic happen in the jam room afterward.
Well, I think it's more of a homework, and then when we get to our jam room, we just like do the production, and then we listen to it again, and then we say like, oh, this riff plays this, that, you know, and we make the song as long as it sounds perfect to us. We have a confidence and kind of a faith that it's gonna be great for our fans because, you know, we keep the Warsenal sauce.
Yeah, and we know it's a good song when we can see the live reaction. Like we jam the song and we're like, okay, I can actually see myself playing that on stage. So that's when we know we've hit something.
Great. So last question.
Yeah.
What are Warsenal's ambitions? So next, either like anything challenging, even like Warsenal life, personal life, or even like whatever you want to share.
Dominate the world.
Conquer the world, tour it all.
Yeah, we're
Make fans everywhere. You know, like we just want to live the same kind of style of life also as our inspirations lived and still live it till today, you know, and we just want to make the band like big as much as we can, and we want to keep Warsenal going, you know, like going in a better way. Every album is gonna be better than the other, and you know, like we're getting old, we're getting more experience by touring, playing music, writing music. So I'm sure about like every album is gonna be wiser than the other, and it's gonna be more killer than the other. So yeah, the essence is here. So we just like we're gonna keep it, and we are good friends. So this is not gonna end tomorrow. So it's a long term kind of commitment to this band. So hell yeah.
Yeah. Playing as many countries as possible, playing festivals, playing with bands that inspired us too. Like actually people knowing who we are, you know, I've heard the name somewhere. That's, I'm guessing, what our ambitions are at, where they're at.
Yeah, maybe for me it'd be like to inspire the next generation of bands maybe and put smiles on people's faces, you know, just be there and see people have fun. Huh?
The EP of the band.
Appreciate it, guys.
Well, thanks to
Thank you
you.
so much. This was Warsenal.